Veggie burgers can be one of those weird vegan foods that when you think about transitioning from eating a regular burger to a veggie burger, you just imagine the absolute worst. You imagine it tasting nothing like a burger, maybe it being mushy or having chunks of weird things that falls apart when you eat it. And unfortunately, sometimes that is the case. But there are, of course, exceptions, and I really think that this recipe for my veggie burgers is one of them. They stay together, which is one of my favorite parts, and I really researched and practiced this recipe to make sure that it mimics a lot of the same flavors and textures and the whole sort of feeling that you get when you eat a traditional burger, but it's all vegan. I worked really hard on creating this recipe. I've tested it a bunch of times, even when I was home in Florida visiting my mom, so I'm so excited to share this recipe with you. I teamed up with Thrive Market to show you how you can make this a really affordable recipe as well, because like most of the things I make, I used ingredients that I found on Thrive Market, mostly because they're really budget friendly. It's also easy to find like vegan options just because I use the vegan filter, and a lot of times I select my favorites and I just shop my favorites over and over, so it's really fast and convenient. I'm going to show you some of my favorites that I sprinkled throughout this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. There's a link for you to try Thrive Market in the description box below this video, but for now, let's get into the recipe. The first thing you're going to want to do is grate some beets. Now, I know a lot of you don't like beets, and I totally get it. I promise you, this recipe does not taste like beets, but what this does is it really creates a texture and even color like ground beef. So it has a really authentic look. And if you guys are thinking that grating is a total pain in the butt, what I have a little trick for is just to run it under hot water right after you use it. Your grater will be super easy to clean and ready for the next time. Then I just go ahead and I saute these beets for about 5 minutes with some sea salt, and this is really just to draw out the moisture so you don't get a mushy burger. Then I add some garlic, cumin, and smoked paprika. This combination of flavors is very important because it creates a really robust and flavorful burger. When I was developing this recipe, one of the main things I wanted to focus on was the texture. I wanted to come up with a way that you could have a really nice texture all throughout on the outside and on the inside. So some ingredients that I used to make sure that I got the texture spot on is some breadcrumbs. This helps bind and also dry out the burger a little bit so you don't have too much mushiness going on. I also added some lentils for some great plant-based protein and also some texture, and then some crushed walnuts. This adds a really nice nuttiness. And then I added some of my magic ingredients. This is miso paste. You guys have no idea what a big difference this makes, and also some tomato paste for a really nice depth of flavor. Another thing that's really important, of course, is the flavor. A veggie burger is usually cooked on a griddle or a grill. It has some earthiness and smokiness to it, and there's also an umami quality. And umami is a flavor that exists in things like mushrooms, but also in meat. It's that kind of meaty richness and this kind of velvetyness, I would say, in terms of a flavor. And that can be a little bit hard to mimic, but I found two, I'm calling them magic ingredients in this recipe because they really are what make these burgers so special, and it's the combination of all the different spices and these magic ingredients that really bring these burgers to life and make them taste very satisfying. Aside from the miso paste, I think the vegan Worcestershire sauce that I used is the #1 magic ingredient here. This really gives it a meatiness and a heartiness and really makes these burgers so flavorful. So now we've got a lot of richness. I wanted to kind of freshen everything up with some fresh parsley and scallions, and then to hold everything together to prevent these burgers from falling apart, I'm using a tablespoon of cornstarch and then seasoning this with a lot of freshly cracked pepper. You'll see that this mixture is a little bit kind of crumbly. There's lots of different textures and colors going on. And what I like to do to make sure that they stay together while I'm cooking is I divide about 1/3 of the mixture into a food processor or blender, along with a tablespoon of water and also a tablespoon of olive oil. And then I'll blend this until it's kind of like a paste and add that back into the bowl. And this kind of acts as a binder that's gonna really hold your burgers together and give them a really nice texture. So I just separate this into 6 burgers, and then I use my index finger or middle finger and thumb to create a really nice round patty. I'm using gloves here just because I didn't want to get my fingers stained red from the beets, but you can do it however you want. And then we're just going to lightly kind of crisp up the outside before we stick these in the oven. This is a really important step because again, this adds that really great flavor. Once they're crispy, they go into the oven for about 30 minutes until the center is set, and then it's time to build the burger. Now, I'm usually a traditionalist when it comes to burgers. I like lettuce, tomato, maybe some cheese, and some ketchup, right? That's how we do it. But in this case, I really think that opting for some lettuce, some really thinly sliced red cabbage, and either vegan mayo or vegan cream cheese is the perfect flavor combination, and it really complements the robust, meaty flavor of these burgers. So I don't know, you're just gonna have to take my word for it and try it. I love this combo, and I am so excited for you guys to try this recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up because that really helps out my channel. And if you're new to Thrive Market, make sure you check out the description box because there is a link waiting for you there, as well as a short little grocery list of some of the ingredients that I used in this video, just to kind of make your shopping a little bit easier. I use Thrive for most of my daily ingredients, the things I go through really quickly, like oatmeal, because you know I go through oatmeal really quickly, a lot of my spices, and also some of the more expensive items at my grocery store, things like olive oil and coconut oil. Those can be really pricey at regular grocery stores, so I go ahead, I order all that stuff on Thrive Market. It comes to my front door in a couple of days in a recyclable packaging, and I just find it so convenient, a lot more budget friendly, and also kind of fun because there's always new snacks and condiments and things I love to try. If you guys are already familiar with Thrive and you use them, let me know what your favorite things to get there are, because I'm totally nosy and I love knowing what you guys are loving so I can copy you at home. So let me know in the comments below. If you're not subscribed to this channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber, so go ahead and click that button, and I will see you guys in a video very soon. Bye!